just you. I mean Griffith also. The two of you have something important that you can stake your lives on.
This is a certified hood classic.
Compared to the strength of that purpose, whether I face 100 men in battles or even 1,000, this seems like nothing but a random act.
What is up, riders? Welcome to a video where I will talk about jobs and school while I commute. I wanted to make this video from a point of view of somebody who's just out of college and younger, and you know, maybe it will help you if you're around that age gain some perspective. You know, I lump jobs and school together because they're what will have the older generation, probably your parents, they're going to be supportive of you if you're doing one or the other. But if you tried to make your own business, or if you just tried something right out of high school, they'd be more skeptical. They're unsure because it's not like established in the system as a viable path, and not many people do something like that. So that's something you have to keep in mind. I was at a UC where I was doing some research, and that was kind of like encouraged by my parents, and encouraged, but it wasn't fun. I had to sacrifice my social life for it, and it was for physics, like condensed matter, and ultimately what I did is, like, I coded an app to get a machine learning image processor working for the iPhone, and it works, and I'm proud that it works, but it wasn't really worth it. It wasn't worth it in terms of all the sacrifices I made, because then afterwards, after I was done, I had two options. Either I could keep doing school, or I could do a job, and school didn't work out. UCs rejected me. I applied mostly to UCs. The app wasn't out until the summer after I got the app finished, but anyways, I want to continue getting on track. Before I do, I just want to say, if you made it this far, then that's great, because you know, it's hard to be alive, and I mean, you're lucky, pretty much. There's so many factors that make it hard to live, and being born on Earth is like winning the lottery. And even though things, more often than not, things are negative, it's still lucky to be able to spend time here. So I could have been going for the PhD route, then I'd be paid about as much as I do now as an EMT, but I would be doing more work as a TA, and people respect the teacher assistants, like, because it ends up you like getting a upgrade to your degree. You can also get a tenured position in academia, eventually doing big time research. There's a lot of money in it, so people support that path. After school, I wanted to do my own app. I wanted to make iOS apps on my own. I wanted to move back home for that, but my parents were not supportive of that, and eventually I got into an EMT school, basically out of protest, and also because I wanted to do a job, if I had to do a job, away from a desk for once, because I feel like people would misunderstand me when I would be just working on apps. And so I did that. I went to Bay Area Training Academy in Alameda, and I got my EMT cert while my family was vacationing in Egypt and Turkey. I was alone with my two favorite dogs, and I miss that time very much. But something I quickly found out is I didn't make enough money. I couldn't afford a car as an EMT. I was paying more than half of my rent. More than half my income was my rent, and so that burdened me quite a bit. And I found out that many people are living with their parents at this job, and if not, then they're getting help with their car, at least with their parents. They figured something out. I didn't get any of that, and I don't think it's right to be jealous or to say that those people had it easy or whatever, because I think that's the right move. That's economically smart for both the children and the family. So I think that's actually better. So I don't think it was this way back then. EMTs and just starting jobs, they didn't have to deal with these same struggles of kind of like living below their means. And I genuinely think like people aren't lazy, people work a lot in my age, and they don't get much buying power that they do. And is the economy to blame? Yes, I think the economy is to blame. And why? Well, it's because the the manufacturing is overseas, so any products that aren't food that you buy is gonna make you twice as poor, because it's not gonna make it back to the US. And that, combined with the older generation that has a lot of money, they spend quite a large sum of it on healthcare. And so what that means is you're not seeing that money ever again, because that's gonna disappear. And I mean, I'm working in healthcare now, so it's like some of that money makes it back to the younger generation, but I don't earn enough to keep doing it. And I don't think being a nurse or doing those jobs is something I would want to do long term. And yeah, so it's a shitty situation. But in this situation, I also figured out like a lot of who you know, your social circle, I want to say 50% of the people you know are probably going to be from your job, and the other half are going to be the close friends that you still talk to from high school or from before then. So if you're I guess like the last few words I have is, if you're feeling alone, and you realize it's because you're working all the time and you're just trying to make it, or you don't connect with the people around you in your life, and then you just gotta realize like it's all mostly work dependent and you don't have much control over that. Oftentimes you're gonna have to make a sacrifice. You're gonna have to earn less money or do some job you don't want to do, and so that's just how people will be around you. Like that will be your social circle. I think if you're lonely, then that's also a great sign. You may also be treading a path to greatness. So just keep that in mind. And I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'm going to be posting some more videos like these, so stay tuned.